Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be painting on this wooden heart that I got at Hobby Lobby. So I already did start putting some gesso on the back of it just to see how it would look beforehand. But first things first, I'm going to be using this acrylic gesso all over the wooden heart just to get a good base coat all over it. So I only gessoed this to start off preparing it. I didn't sand it or anything since it was new and it was really smooth. It didn't seem like it would need it. It did take a couple of layers of gesso though to get it all completely white. I want to say anywhere from 3 to 4 coats of gesso on each side. I will say that today's video is going to be a little bit shorter than most videos, and this project is actually a lot simpler than others, and that's mainly due to the fact that I've been very busy this week and I'm working on a big project for next week, so I decided to go for something a lot easier this week. So on a different piece of paper I sketched out 2 different designs, and I'm going to try something a little different. I'm using the chalk method to transfer out my design. So basically you get chalk and rub it all on the back side of your design, of your sketch, and then once you're done spreading the chalk all over the paper, you just put the paper on top of your surface and then trace over the lines again. And this is supposed to transfer your design onto your surface. This was actually the first time I've ever tried doing this method, and it worked pretty well for me. I did definitely mess up in some spots, but it made it easier than just having to recopy out my design. And so for this design, I wanted to go with a nice silhouette design, but add some color to it. And so I did a silhouette of a woman in a dress with a rainbow drips coming down around her, kind of like heavy rain. And this is actually a design that I've been wanting to do for a long time, but I just haven't really been able to decide on what canvas to use. So again, this video is a lot of an easier and shorter video with a very simple design that I'm painting. And like I said, it is because I've been very busy with some things that have been happening at home, and I've also been wanting to work on this project that I'm preparing that should be out for next Sunday. And so I instead of just not doing a video this week, I decided to do something very simple and very quick, although I did spend a lot of time on it. So this wooden heart was something that I found at Hobby Lobby a while back, and I bought it without really having an idea of what to use it for. I just really liked the shape of it and I thought it would be nice for something. And so when I was planning out this week's video, I knew I needed to do something quick and easy, and I thought it was a small space and I already had this design in mind, so I went ahead and went with it. I will say that for the first coat, it was very messy, and most of the colors except maybe the blue were very transparent. Especially this purple, it went down very transparent, but once it dried, it became very dark. So once I was done with the rainbow drips, I went with the silhouette of the woman in black. I've always been a fan of silhouettes. I think they've always looked really nice. You can really do a silhouette of almost anything, it will almost always look nice. It's a really nice, relaxing thing to paint. And so after many coats, I outlined the drips in black, and this is how it looks. And so just to keep the design safe and to make sure that it looks extra shiny, I'm using this gloss Mod Podge as a varnish to seal it and protect it. And so I coated it with a very thick coating of Mod Podge. And I did this before moving on to the back just because I didn't want to ruin or scrape off any of the paints while working on the back. And so once I was completely dry, it created this very nice glossy finish to it, and it really just brought the whole piece together and made it look a lot nicer. I really like the shine that I added to the painting. But moving on to the back, I wanted to do something. I didn't want to leave it just blank, but I also didn't want to do something too complicated or complex. And so I decided to paint on this little sakura flower. Now the sakura tree is one of my favorite trees. I've always been a fan of Japanese culture, and I've just always thought it was very beautiful. And I've been wanting to get a chance to draw a sakura flower and paint it onto something, and the space just seemed to fit right. And so it is a little random, it doesn't really go with the silhouette, but I do like how it turned out. For most of the flower, I went with a very pale pink, and then I tried to blend in a darker pink around the edges, but it didn't really blend well. I'm not that good at blending, so I just ended up doing the corners in a darker pink, but I do still think it came out looking really nice. And so I just went back and forth trying to blend in the lighter pink with the darker pink. It didn't work out too well. I still need a lot of practice when it comes to blending colors together. I usually don't blend any of my colors. I usually just do very simple and separated defined lines. But I am trying to learn and practice on blending because I really like that effect on paintings. And now I'm just painting the little center of the sakura flower and adding some touch-ups to the flower. And so as you can see, while painting the front side, I managed to get some paint on the bottom. I actually kind of liked how it was looking. I was thinking of trying to add to it, but I ended up just blocking out the design of the rainbow colors. And I think it came out okay. It definitely wasn't my original plan for it, but I just thought that the back needed something a little more, and since the color was already there, I thought I could add to it. Now I did just paint over the black on the bottom though. I just thought it didn't really match well with the colors on the back, and I was going to save that space to sign it and to date it. And so again, after many coats, now I'm just touching up some little things on the flower before I go ahead and initial it at the bottom and put the date of when I finished it. And so off camera, I also put a finish on the back. I didn't do the gloss finish since the glossy stuff can be a little sticky. I just went with a basic matte varnish on the back, and the matte finish did end up being a little glossy, which I was really happy about. It's definitely not as shiny or glossy as the front side, but it does give it a little bit of shine, and this is how the back ended up turning out. And this is how the front turned out. Again, sorry for the shorter video, but thank you so much for watching. I do hope you still enjoyed this video, and God bless you.